Hello everyone, welcome back to another challenge of the page Adventjs.dev. In this case, we are in front of an easy level challenge, which is the number 8. Okay, first of all, I want to mention if you hear a little noise in the background, is because I have my fan turn on because I am basically dying because the heat here in Buenos Aires is unbearable. Okay, so I hope you can understand. I will try to edit this video, but if you still hear the noise, it's because I forgot to edit this video because normally I only record the video and don't edit it because I am a little lazy with these things. So, okay. So this was just a little information about the noise if in case you are listening to it or hearing it. Okay, so let's continue with the challenge. In this case, we need to read the instructions. So the instructions are basically the ones that I have, as you know, in the right panel of this screen. Okay, so it says it's time to select the fastest reindeer for Santa's journeys. Okay, Santa Claus has organized exciting reindeers races to determine which one are in the best shape. Your task is to display each reindeer's progress on a snow track in isometric format. The information you receive are the follows. So first of all, we will have the indices, which as we all know is an array of integers representing, in this case, each reindeer's progress on the track. And those indices could be a number 0, which means the lane is empty. It could be also a positive number that means that represent the reindeer's current position from the beginning of the track. Lastly, we could have a negative number that basically means the opposite, the current position of the reindeers, the reindeer from the end of the track. Okay, so this is our first parent, and it could have those values, whether it is a 0 number, a positive number, or a negative one. Okay, and lastly, as a second parent, we have the length, which is basically the length of the lane. Okay, so our goal is to return a string representing the race track. And this is basically the rules, let's say, that we need to follow. The first one is each lane has exactly length position filled with snow. That snow is represented with this character over here that I have no idea how to call it, but that you can see is, well, it's a weird character to describe for me. And next we have each reindeer is represented with the letter R, as we can see here in the examples, and the lanes are numbered at the end with /1/2 and etc. And lastly, we have the view is isometric, so the lower lanes are shifted to the right. Okay, so these are basically the rules that we need to follow. So we have here a couple of examples. So as you can see, we have the function draw race, which receives an array of indices, and then we have the length of the length, if I am not mistaken, as we can see over here. Okay. So, well, basically, let's start, right? So, as we saw before, I think we need to build each length. So as the information says, the length is basically the length of each length. So I think I'm gonna create an array. Okay, so I'm gonna call it as a length array. I don't know, and it will be a new array. Okay, of the length of the received length. So basically the length that we receive from the second parent. And then I'm gonna fill it with that character that I have no idea how to call it in English, but let me see if I am able to type it. Okay, this one. So this essentially will return something like this. Let me put that special character again. Okay, and it should be something like this. Repeat it as many times the length is. Okay. And okay, the other thing that we need to do is to replace the letter R in the positions that the indices say. So I have created this array because in that way it is easier for us to replace a value in a custom index, because I was looking at the documentation of MDM and I realized that we have a very helpful method of the array, which is with. It allows us to replace a value given its index. So for example, if I want to replace in the len array in the index, I don't know, 2, I have to pass the index and then the value I want to replace it with. So let's imagine it would be the letter R. Okay, so this method, which is pretty new, as far as I know, will 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 be very helpful for us. Okay, so we need to let's see, we need to build all the lanes. So let's call it as lanes array, and we need to iterate the indices array like this. So we can use a map. Let's see. Okay, because I was practicing a little bit with this, so I want to see the code that I wrote. Okay, it should be something like this. We first of all, the first well, let's make a little draw over here so we can know what the indices are. In this case, let's imagine is equal to this. And okay, so the elements of the indices array will be the position where we need to replace or to put the reindeer. Okay, and next we will have well, basically the index or the lane. We call it as the lane. So why am I calling it as a lane? Because I want to print these values. So the lane number 1, the lane number 2, the lane number 3. Okay. Well, actually, we can call it as index because the index will start with the number 0, and we need to add 1 in order to have the first lane. So I think it is better to call it as index instead of lane. Okay, so in the first thing I need to do, let's see. Okay, um, let me see. Okay, so for this lane array, we need to replace. Okay, let me see. I am taking a look. Let me share with you what I am looking at. It will be better for us. Okay, so this is basically the code I wrote before starting this video, obviously. Um, yeah, basically I need to replace in the position, which is basically any number of this array, each number of this array with the letter R, which is basically the reindeer. Okay, so now we need to basically show the lane as this basically will return something like this. So let's imagine we have this array and the position is the number, I don't know, the number 0. So in the position 0, we are replacing this with the letter R. So this is basically with what we are going to have, you know? So as we know, we need a string instead of an array. So we need to transform that into a string. So for that, we can use the method join. So I'm gonna use that len array, and then we need to join it with an empty separator. Okay. So now we can build here our lane, which is, I don't know, lane. Um, let's call this as track because I think it make more sense. Track with rin, let's see, okay, reindeer. Okay, track with reindeer. I think it is more descriptive in that way. And then we need to build the entire lane. So for that, we could use a template string like this. At the beginning, we need to add these spaces over here. So as you can see in this example, basically, we are using the indices length minus the lane. In this case, the lane is the index, and minus 1. So I'm gonna explain to you why. So let's imagine that the indices array, let's see, indices, indices that length is equal to, let me see, 3, right? So in this example, in the lane number 3, we are not adding any space, but in the second one, we are actually adding 1. And in the first one, we are adding 2 spaces. So if we have a 3 as a length, we need basically to use the length of the indices minus 1 in order to know how many spaces we need to add. Okay, so let's do that. And let's reset the zoom. Okay, so it will be indices that length minus length, well, in this case is minus index minus 1. Okay. We can have another constant here, which is lane number. That could be lane plus 1. And we can have another constant, which is spaces from the beginning, or spaces at start. It could be basically this. Okay. And then we can have this more clearer like this, spaces at start, and then we need to concatenate or to add the track with a reindeer, and then with a space we need to add a slash, and then the lane number like this. Okay, so this will return us something like this. It will be equal to an array of, if I am not mistaken, it will be, well, it will be this one. So we will have actually this. We will have this, and then this, and etc. Right? And this one. Awesome. And then we have to add 2 spaces over here. So we need to transform the lanes array into an string, because that is basically what we need, right? So I'm gonna no, I don't know, let's create a constant which is lanes with reindeers. Let's see how it's spelled. Okay, reindeers. It will be equal to lanes array that join, and we need to join it by a line break. So we can have something like this. So if we return this, I think it should be enough. So let's see. Okay, length is not, okay, length before initialization. Where is that? Okay, awesome. So, okay, in this case, we need to use index. Let's see now. Okay, this is this is this is not working as expected, but we are almost close. Okay, so let's see. So in this case, we are having, okay, we are having actually a number, but we need to have an empty space, you know? So it will be repeated this these times. Let's see. Let's say, okay, it is better, but the line breaks are not working. So let's see why it is not working. Okay. Okay, well, let's see what we got wrong. So basically, as I said, the line breaks are not working, obviously, right? So even though I am passing the, oh, maybe I need to use, okay, I need to use the reversed slash. So I need to figure it out. Okay. I was looking at the key I had to press in order to type this kind of slash. So let's see now if that is working. I hope so. Okay, we are almost there. Okay, now we are not replacing the reindeers pretty well. Let's see. So we have here the track with reindeer, but okay, let's see. Actually, I think we need to do something like this because this method, as far as I know, doesn't replace or modify the initial array. So that's why it is not working. So let's see if I put this code over here. Let's see what we got, what we get now. Okay, it is working, but not quite because okay, for this index, I mean, we don't, well, let's see the instructions. So, okay, if the index is 0, the lane is empty. Okay, so we don't need to put the reindeer in the position 0. So we need to exclude that modification, let's say. So if the index is equal to 0, we don't need to do that. So we need to actually return the lane array as it is. Otherwise, we do need to replace the reindeer or to put the reindeer in the position desired. So let's see now. Okay, it is not working either. Okay, that's weird. Okay, in this case, I need to also join it with an empty string. So let's see. Okay, okay, okay. So it is not working because I don't need to use the index. I need to use the position. So let's see now. Position. Okay, I misspell it. It should be position like this. Let's see. Awesome. So we got 4 stars out of 5, which is not bad at all. So I have an idea how can I improve, or maybe I have idea, but I don't want you to um, spend more time watching this video because it's not funny at all. So I am not sure actually if someone is watching this video until the end. So I don't think so. So maybe nobody um, will hear me until these minutes of the video. So yeah, so this is basically the solution of this exercise or this challenge. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I see you in the next one. So thank you for watching and take care. Bye.